With episode titles like Bad Mom's Confessional, Body Image, or 1950s Housewives and Millennial Moms, it's no wonder weekly podcasts by two Shelbyville women are quickly becoming hugely popular in the region and even around the globe. Megan Terry and Rachel Webb are in their second season of podcasting The Megan and Rachel Show, a compilation of some of the most hilarious antics that these two 30-something moms experience on a daily basis, from having babies to that ever so important task of cleaning out your spice cabinet. They might even delve into some timely topics of world interest, like the irrational fear of snakes in the toilet and what might become of said snakes. Talking mostly to other women, Megan and Rachel have a great time with their podcast, and they love sharing their stories, no matter how embarrassing. In November, the pair filled Harvest Cafe with loyal fans as they did their first live taping. Now sit back and enjoy meeting these two maniacal mamas who are, as they say, trying to navigate the indignities of motherhood one podcast at a time.
Welcome to the Megan and Rachel Show.
We're your hosts, Megan Terry
and Rachel Webb,
broadcasting from the booming metropolis of Shelbyville, Kentucky.
We're just two gals trying to navigate the indignities of motherhood.
Our show is just a hot mess of craziness, kind of.
Okay, let's talk about objects stuck in places they shouldn't be.
What?
Hey friends, we made it to season 2 of the Megan and Rachel Show.
We survived!
We are
Shocking.
so excited that you're here listening with us. Season 1 was so much fun.
It was epic. We couldn't even resist coming back for more.
Well,
and people actually listened, which was the best part. We were like, wait, people are actually listening.
We were heard in over 70 countries. We made it to the iTunes top charts last year.
No pressure or anything on season 2, right? Top
right.
that.
We have so many good ideas for season 2.
Yeah, so what are some of those things, Megan, that you feel like we should talk about in season 2?
Okay.
I mean, always motherhood. That's just going to happen regardless. But what else do we need to chat about?
We're going to have our husbands on this time.
Oh, wow.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
So Lee and Cameron are going to be joining us, and we're going to grill them.
And they'll probably spill all of our deepest, darkest secrets as well. So
well, that's a given. Yeah.
We're
We're also going to do a whole segment on being a millennial mom.
Yes, because we've got the corner on that market.
Well, we're not even really millennials, but we got to kind of make fun of this whole helicopter parenting revolution thing that's going on.
That's right. We're kind of on the edge of millennial, but I think I missed it by 1 year or something like that.
Well, let's be honest. If we can't make fun of ourselves,
what's the point of living?
What's the point?
Okay. We were sitting down having dinner with our families, and they went outside, and so we got a chance to talk. And we started to discuss just like these random, very normal things that women like to talk about. She had put her boogers, had blown her nose. I'm not joking. I have the picture. I'll show y'all.
It was bad boogers.
It was like
bad.
Bright green boogers, but she's not even sick. So how do you get bright green? I don't even know. And after
Botox, liposuction.
things that we're like, we don't know how we feel about them, but you want to be able to talk about these things with your friends. And parenthood. And then we decided, you know what, there are other women who probably would love to have people to talk about this with. And why don't we include them on the conversation? So it was like a month or two I called Megan and I'm like, hey, what do you think?
We should do a podcast.
We should do a show. So then we're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to name it? And apparently we're total narcissists because the only thing we could come up with was the Megan and Rachel Show.
This time we really are broadcasting from somewhere way cooler than where we usually broadcast. Tonight is our live show. Woo! But anyway, we're broadcasting tonight from the Harvest Coffee Cafe on Main Street in Shelbyville. It's the coolest little place. If you're ever in our town, call me and Rach and bring us to lunch here because we love this place.
You're okay.
You guys, they even have a salad named after Rachel. That's how much of a celebrity she is. If you come to Harvest Cafe, you can, honest to God, order the Rachel.
They're trying to hold... They know that I need to eat more salads and vegetables, and they love me, and that's their way of doing it, pretty much. So from there, we just got in the studio, and we just started to have conversations.
Well, we had a direction we thought we wanted the show to take. We wanted to talk about big ideas. We thought we wanted to talk about things like racism and, just the way that we parent.
Education and all these very heady topics.
And then we realized that was not fun at all. And we didn't enjoy doing that. And so we thought, let's go a whole other direction.
Let's scrap it and just have fun.
There's just not enough fun in life. So we decided we were going to have a really humorous podcast.
Yeah, so, it's a lot of pressure sometimes to say we're humorous because who decides what is funny? But we find that if we are laughing and we're enjoying it, then our listeners hopefully are too.
So you're heavy.
We've done shows about pregnancy. We've done shows about being a millennial mom versus a 1950s housewife.
What's stressing us out? We're very candid. This is not a show where we always put our best face forward.
Yes.
We're just very real about life and all of the good stuff, but also the
absurdities.
Yeah, exactly.
What is stressing you out this week, Megan? So we've talked before about how my dog is a little bit of a basket case, and my dog has anxiety meds that I sometimes think about skimming. Me too. I mean, I've begged my doctor sometimes for anxiety meds, and I'm like, man, I don't think it's a very good idea for you right now. I'll talk to your doctor for you. Rachel's gonna set up a counseling session with my doctor. But my dog is doing this really neurotic thing right now. Last week, our smoke detector in our basement went off in the middle of the night, and so my husband rips it out of the ceiling because they're the ones that are all hardwired together. So if one starts beeping a lot, they will all go off. And it's in the middle of the night, you don't want to wake up those babies because then you have to kill people. And so the smoke detector's going off. Cameron rips it out of the wall, and I don't know why he didn't just take the battery out of it, but instead he wrapped it up in a blanket and put it outside the basement door. It's like, I will show that smoke detector to his boss. I didn't think anything of it, but our dog wouldn't walk out the door because he could hear that big beep, the real loud frequency, and so our dog just would stand at the door and just shake, like her whole body would shake, and we were like, dog, you've got to go out, poop and pee and all those things. And for a week now, I'm having to drag my dog out, and she just stands in the yard and shakes. And so every day there's poop and pee in my house, and I'm over it all for that one smoke detector. Like, if I could go back in time and change that smoke detector problem.
You should know by now not to leave those sort of things to Cameron, the electronics.
Well, let's just be honest and say we shouldn't leave anything to the husband at all.
Not much.
So when we do our podcast, we gear it very specifically. It's largely women, and a lot of them are mothers. So when we do our podcast, we do our show like if we were sitting at our kitchen table with a group of girlfriends. When we do our Facebook page or other social media, we're mindful that there are people like guys and our children.
Kids.
And yeah, exactly. People like James who might be on our Facebook page. And so you'll see that our Facebook page is probably pulled back a little bit because we always want to be sensitive to who our audience is.
Well, we know we have in the thousands listening to every show. We've even been on the iTunes top charts. We've made it up to like the top 25.
Yeah, so that was probably the highlight when I was out of town and Megan called me. She's like, sit down. I was like, I'm sitting down. I'm in the car. We're on the top charts for iTunes.
Which is really exciting. There are 250,000 podcasts registered on iTunes. And so to get up on the top charts,
it's huge.
Especially in our inaugural season, was a big deal. It kind of gave us some confirmation that this is what women want to hear. Like, this is a corner of the podcast universe that's untapped, really, with women our age talking about real life issues.
And a lot of the people who are up there on the top charts are people who have a more well-known platform. So maybe they're celebrities or people who have written books and done different things. So for us just to be two very normal people and to be able to have that opportunity has been...
It's exciting.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. We knew each other when we were younger. Rachel's a couple years younger than I am, and like when you're in high school, you stick with your people. So I knew who she was, and then, we live in this small community, and so I've always had respect for the work that she and her husband Lee have done in our community. And I think so we were kind of
And I felt the same about Megan, like when I was following her adoption journey. For me, I just, probably even more so than you didn't realize how closely I was following your blog and your family story to grow your family with kiddos from the Congo in Africa. So I think we kind of were watching each other from afar. And then it's like, hey, what if we come together? And it's been a perfect match. In fact, I tell people the reason I do the podcast is so I can hang out with Megan. And it's true. We have a lot of fun together.
Well, we have a lot of fun. I think we also complement each other very well. We're alike enough that we have a great time, but we have some different views on things. But we really respect each other's opinions, our loves, our choices that we make. I don't know, there's just a lot of mutual respect and admiration in this relationship.
And so Rachel said, we should start our own podcast. And in the middle of, life being really busy, I'm like, yeah, whatever. We should start a podcast.
What are we going to talk about? Coolsculpting? That we should say that, because we were hanging out and we were having a conversation about all of the plastic surgery options, which neither of us have tried, but we just feel like we're getting to that age where we need to know these things. And we're like, are we going to regret this one day? Either way, if we don't do it, if we do it. And that's when we said, women need to talk about these things. There are big issues in the world, but there are also very important issues, such as Coolsculpting, which is where you freeze your fat and
you pee it out.
You pee it out. Yeah.
You pee it out.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to poop out their own fat.
Where are we going with this? Oh my gosh. I think we have big plans to take over the world. Really.
Donald Trump should be very afraid. We're coming for you.
Well, no, in all honesty, we do treat this like a business. We're very committed to this podcast. It doesn't happen willy-nilly. It's a lot of work.
We have 7 kids.
Between us.
Not
together.
Not separately. And so to be able to commit to something, we spend 10 to 15 hours a week, probably more so on the 15-hour end a week.
Right.
On each show.
Right. So we very much treat this very seriously. Even though the show is lighthearted, it's a lot of work. And so I think for us, we do have big goals that if we're going to put in this work, we want it to be successful.
I think one of my goals, if I'm being honest, is 2017, we would love to have something that we share to go viral. And it's not just to be like, oh, we went viral on Facebook, but we feel like that is affirmation, that it resonates with just normal people like us. Right. So that would be really cool.
Well, and I think a huge thing for us is we recognize that women our age are in a very unique position where we're raising kids, we're sometimes taking care of our parents, we're working, we're being spouses or single women. There's a lot of pressure on women our age. And so we recognize that there's not always time to go out and be with your girlfriends. And so this is a way for people that are in our stage of life to feel like they're connecting with their girlfriends when they might not always have time. So that's really our hope, is to build a community around this.
Our tribe is what we love to call it.
What has surprised you most about having a podcast?
I'm going to say how much work it is, because you see these reality stars and you're like, I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to talk and I'm going to be so fabulous. Dang, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, so that has been surprising. And then it's really weird to me when I walk in a place in our town. We have this little town, and people will come up to me and they'll be like, oh my gosh, are you Megan from the Megan and Rachel show? And I'll have a major moment. I'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah. And they're always, it's all you we're Rachel's neighbors. Every time. It surprises me. I should just learn if anybody approaches me, it's a neighbor or Rachel, because that's the only people that ever walk up to me.
I love my village girls. Yeah.
We do have sponsors. People can sponsor episodes. It's something that we want to be more intentional about.
Yeah, that's one of our goals for 2017, because it is kind of building a brand and a business, and we are investing so much time and energy. And really, we would love to be able to do this and for it to be something that's for our families, that works and fits within our families. So I think in the future, in the next year or so, we'd love to continue to be more deliberate. Okay, how should this look in, at the end of the year? What do we want to see happen? So,
well, and
oh yeah.
Oh, you guys, my husband thinks Rachel might be a little bit neurotic. I mean, a lot neurotic, actually. That did shock me, because you usually are kind kind of chill about stuff, but there are some things you just freak out about.
Listen, poison ivy, when I look at pictures of wilderness and green space, I feel happy for about 3 seconds. And then I think, dear God, there is ivy, there is sumac. And my kids have gotten aware when they see like a boxwood bush, they're like, Mom, it's poison ivy!
If you could tell your pre-mom self something about mothering, what would it be? Get over yourself. Really.
I know, because I would complain before I had kids, like, oh, I didn't get, no. But is that what you meant? Go on.
I don't know. We were just talking about this at lunch, though, just how the motto is never say never, because all the things you said you were never going to do with your kids, you do, because at some point you don't even give a damn anymore. You just think, get them to 18, get them out of the house, give them all the Halloween candy, whatever.
Don't tag bad pictures. That's the other thing I'll say. We ask you to tag things on Facebook. They better be good pictures. You better edit those suckers.
I just in general feel nervous about this being video because I feel like I had forgotten to suck in most of the show.
This is true. I was thinking the same thing.
Because usually we're in our pajamas and I unbutton my pants. Every time.
We did make a decision before we came. Do we wear the Spanx over the jeans or under the jeans? And we decided with these shirts, just as a friendly tip, if you're going to wear your Spanx, go ahead and put them in the jeans, okay? Just so you know.
I think you see like this movement toward reality TV, and people want to dig in your business. And so for us, we do love the idea that more and more, specifically women, would love our show, because that means that we're doing what we want to, and that's just having those conversations. And so I think bigger is fine with me.
I don't think we would be sad if this became a huge
If
thing.
Oprah called us and wanted to do an interview, we probably wouldn't
We'd be
cry.
like, hey, Oprah!